Now on foot, Officer DePaula chased after the suspect when again, police say Johnson turned and took aim at the officer, but DePaula was able to get off a shot first. The new system scans all visitors through the same database, and it says where they're supposed to be in the building, so security guards in the halls can see if someone's in the wrong place. RTS says it's against the rules to hand off day passes like that, but there's no set penalty for customers who do. Rochester police officer just walked over to us, tears in his eyes, visibly upset. And we're actually on the other side of the police tape. You can see this area has been closed down. There's been lots of flooding, lots of damage. Piles and piles of leaves are put out onto the street. So all that is now packed down underneath the snow. And when everything starts to melt, the storm drains are going to get clogged with those leaves and the water's just going to rise up. Police say they found one camera in the store, and it was so small it was hidden inside of a shoe. Investigators believe the camera was moved around and concealed in different places, which really isn't surprising when you look at the size of some of these cameras. This one is so small, the lens is the size of a pinhole.
Really going strong, and you were just laser focused. It was great.
Yeah, you know, they say never turn your back to explosives, but no, it was fine. But there are ways to protect yourself. Devices that can locate trackers, really anything that transmits. This one even picks up on my wireless microphone. People who have experienced this faulty ignition say they'll be driving along, the key will switch off, the steering wheel locks up, and the brakes don't work. So the car's still moving, but the driver has no control.
I love your hat tonight, but in the afternoon meeting, you had another hat on, which I liked even better.
I did.
Do you want to tell everyone what it said?
It said, I hate winter. And I think that actually wearing that hat is what got me nominated to be outside tonight. So.
I think it might.
Those two were on their first date already debating this issue. Difference of opinions there. And attorneys say couples usually have to figure it out themselves because going to court will cost more than the ring most times.
So she's going to keep the ring there, huh?
Well, if it gets
maybe it'll never come.
Did you propose on a holiday?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, on my wife's birthday I did.
All right.
That counts. That counts still.
Counts?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. After 45 years, I could be in trouble.
Well, it's a big change for both the mom and her child. On the outside, there's shopping, new hairdos. It's a fun experience. It's a rebirth for the 11-year-old and a challenging transition for her mom.
But I do like that, too.
Which one?
This one. I love this dress.
Jocelyn is an 11-year-old girl who loves to shop.
And I'm just obsessed with it.
But her smile hasn't always been this bright.
I cried every day.
She cried every day.
Yeah.
I tell people every single day whether they're having a boy or a girl. Ironic, isn't it? I was 15 weeks and 4 days pregnant when I found out that Jocelyn was a boy.
She did have a boy, but it didn't take long to see her child wasn't happy. By her 5th Christmas, it became obvious.
She opened up all her gifts at Christmas, and she was sitting there amidst a pile of stuff, wrapping paper everywhere, and she started crying. And I looked at her and I'm like, Jocelyn, why are you crying? You know, you have all these toys, all these wonderful things. And she said, because Santa didn't hear me. Santa doesn't love me. He doesn't care. So I went to the store the very next day and probably bought out the Barbie section and wrapped it up and threw it in the back of the tree. And she opened it up, and the look on her face was just, it was awesome. I mean, she was so happy. So that's about it.
But that wasn't it. For 7 years, the two went back and forth on what to wear, who to be, and what others would think.
I was trying to explain to my mother that I wasn't liking the way that I was born and I wanted to be a girl, and
it tugged at my heartstrings. I just didn't know what to do to help her.
But she learned to let Jocelyn be Jocelyn. And 2 months ago, they went shopping.
And now I feel much happier, and when I walk into school, all the girls are like, hey, Jocelyn, and it just makes me feel happy.
Her mom says that's all that matters.
It made me feel that I have at least one person that's always going to be there for me.
Always.
Always.
Jocelyn says her mom is super mom, and she's gotten lots of support at school. In fact, her peers have been more accepting than some of their parents. If you remember the last 2 school board meetings, parents have complained about Jocelyn using the girls' locker room, but she remains strong and happier than ever.
Her mom is an excellent spokeswoman for this, and now we see that same ability to speak in her daughter and share their story. Not an easy story to tell, but they make it look easy.
They do, and you'd never, she's 11, you know,
Yeah,
she's
very mature.
She told her story and she owns it and says, I want to advocate. I want people to know who I am and who everyone else is out there.
Seems it would make her less likely to be the victim of bullies, too, just that attitude of her.
And, you know, they said that the older high school girls have come in and kind of protected her, that that hasn't been an issue. The kids have embraced her, love her, great personality. You know, it's great to meet her.
Yeah, tremendous strength of character there in both mom and daughter. 13 Wham's Rachel Glaser talked to local families who support this move. Rachel?
Jenny, the two mothers I talked to were in Albany this week to push for this drug trial, but now that it's been announced, they say they're disappointed. From speaking with state leaders last week, they believe this is actually a step back for the Compassionate Care Act. A third grader who loves to laugh and eat pizza, Molly is like most kids her age, but it doesn't take long to figure out what makes her different.
That was actually just a seizure.
9-year-old Molly has a rare form of epilepsy. She suffers about 100 seizures each day.
That was a bigger one. She was having several, like right there when she was eating. I don't know if you could notice them.
Prescribed 20 pills a day, her current treatment has not been effective.
She's stopped breathing several times. You know, quite frankly, we're running out of treatment options.
There is hope, but that hope is illegal in New York.
All right, Molly.
This treatment is proven to work. We just have to finally get through this barricade.
Christine Emerson says they don't need a trial. The state needs to legalize marijuana for all the patients it could benefit.
We need treatment today. Our children are suffering, they're dying, and without this treatment, we don't know how many children are going to die this next year from epilepsy.
Because the bubbles come through.
About 100 times a month, her daughter Julia's seizures are less frequent but more violent.
Broken hand, a broken nose. We have liver damage from her pharmaceutical treatment.
Extracted from the marijuana plant, the drug Epidiolex is natural and offers no high to patients.
Some of the kids are 100% seizure-free and off of pharmaceuticals. So yes, there's actually children all over the country having really good success.
While both moms say they'll sign up for the state's trial, they're skeptical they'll even be selected.
We just don't know, you know, what the future holds for her.
An uncertainty and fear they can't deal with for much longer. The two families are looking to move to a state where they can get the treatment they believe will help their children. The Assembly passed the Compassionate Care Act, but the bill is waiting action in the Senate. It needs to get approved by the Finance Committee before it goes to the floor to vote. The proposed drug trial in the state needs FDA approval before that moves forward. Don?